Yo, people, big up Wagwan. We are deal with Depan, Up Top, and Blessings. You don't know. We have to talk about James McAtee. First of all, it's been a while, right? It's been probably a couple months since my last video. And did have to take a break, life has been life in the past couple of months. Haven't been able to upload as regularly as I would like. I decided I wanted to do this channel and make things consistent. Consistent, not necessarily just a release schedule, but consistent videos. Right now, I really cannot guarantee that, but over the past couple of months, as settling into this new schedule and how it's been, I decided, making an irregular schedule is still better than no videos at all. You get what I'm saying? And I'm sure the people who have been watching, have been supporting, and who have been enjoying my videos and my opinions and sharing their opinions with me so we can deliberate over them and have that conversation, would definitely prefer to have an irregular video schedule than no videos at all. So here I am, back again, with more thoughts and topics that you guys can participate in. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section on this one as well. Now, first thing you guys can let me know is, how do you rate McAtee? Because I rate James McAtee a lot. I saw him play in the academy. I saw pretty much all the appearances he's made for Manchester City since breaking through into the first team in whatever regard. We know that he's had 2 loan spells away from Manchester City, both of them with Sheffield United, one of them in the Championship, where I do believe he was rated pretty highly there. He was starting for them pretty often. Sheffield United fans were very happy with him. I believe he also was their young player of the season in that loan spell that saw them promoted automatically into the Premier League. And then he returned on loan the following season, which would have been last season, 23-24. Wasn't as prolific as his first loan spell, but I do believe that he still had a good loan spell there, and they were still happy enough to want to keep him. Manchester City did not want to sell the player. I do believe that we had other Premier League offers for McAtee as well this season, and we decided we're keeping him. Pep was happy to keep him, and we wanted to make him a part of this squad as a midfield option. Pep specifically said that he wants him for the tight spaces. I'm assuming similar to what David Silva would have been offering when he was available. Obviously not to the same quality, but to a similar profile. Playing in that midfield area, number 10, number 8, thereabout. I personally think that there have been opportunities to play James McAtee this season that I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest, that he hasn't gotten near the amount of minutes I would have hoped. In the cup competitions, he has gotten a lot more opportunities than in the Premier League. Even in the Champions League, he's played more minutes than he has in the Premier League, which is weird. I think he's played just a single minute in the Premier League. Kind of the similar treatment that Foden was getting in his kind of just out of the academy into the first team period. But, in a season where we've had a lot of injuries, especially to KDB, we've been missing creators because Foden was missing for a good period of the season as well. And even when he's come back, he's not been at his best in the Premier League. In the Champions League, Phil Foden has been looking pretty good, in my personal opinion. But in the Premier League, what's that term? I've been left desiring more performances from Phil Foden's performances. So I feel like at least some substitute appearances, McAtee could have made some sort of impact in some of those games. For example, Sheffield United, because the Ipswich game, I'm looking mainly at the teams that were recently promoted into the Premier League, right? First of all, Ipswich, we played them very early into the season. I didn't expect McAtee to see a lot of game time in that game. I believe that's where McAtee made his substitute appearance, if I'm not mistaken. But I didn't expect him to see a whole lot of minutes in that game, simply because it came so early into the season. Pep would have been wanting to give other players more minutes and getting them ready for the rest of the campaign. Southampton, that game I personally wanted him to start because we had already been established in that we're not really playing that well, but we're getting the results run that we've been on. So I personally wanted McAtee to start that game. Maybe if things weren't going too well, then we could have subbed them off and then brought on somebody else. I don't remember much about the starting 11 to that game, to be honest. But I don't believe Foden started that game. Or maybe he did. But I feel like McAtee should have been trusted to go into that game and show what he can do. Basically, give him the opportunity and say, yo, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to start you in this game. We have to win. We know that much. It's Manchester City. So I'm sure whatever game he plays, double with the fact that, he's at the elite level. He knows that, standards are up here for performances. But at the same time, he's not going to get a whole lot of game time. So whatever game time he does get, it's always like an audition for him to Pep. Like, yo, you have to prove yourself here with the few amount of minutes that you get, similar to what Matheus Nunes has to deal with. But yeah, I really thought that McAtee could have gotten, and he played 0 minutes in that game. It's mad. Even if he didn't start, I was thinking, surely he's coming off of the bench here. Yes, it was a very tight game. Yes, we could have drawn or maybe even lost that game, to be honest with you, based on the chances that we had. Based on the chances in that game. We had chances to go on and score more than just 1 goal, but Southampton did have chances to score at least 2 goals. Thankfully, they didn't, and Ederson was a good part of that happening as well. So it just turned out that he played 0 minutes in that game, and I was very surprised because I knew after that he was not gonna be getting a lot of minutes. Now, another game that I look at and say, yo, we probably could have given him an opportunity here was Bournemouth and Brighton. Now, again, both of those games are away. So I can see an argument as to why people would say you don't really want to play him here. But, I mean, this is hindsight analysis as well. But we lost both of those games. Obviously, naturally, you'd want to see some sort of switch up and hope for a different outcome, Maybe just a different look. We weren't playing well in those games, and we weren't really creating anything. I think McAtee would have been a useful addition, and to be completely honest with you, I know that he's a midfielder. But we know Foden is a midfielder, and Foden came through playing on the wings. So even on the wings in a season where Oscar Bob has been injured since pre-season, Doku has been injured for a good while now, Grealish has been injured for a good while now, so I really don't see why we couldn't bring on McAtee and say, yo, here we go on. You have to go play left wing today, but you have to go make use of it. You have to go play right wing today, but you'll have to make use of it. Do you think McAtee would have looked at the opportunity and said, nah, I don't want to play. I want to play midfield because I'm a midfielder. Nah, he'd be like, what? I'm getting game time, I'll take it. Even if it's coming off of the bench in one of those games and saying, yo, we started Savio and Nunes, or we started Savio and Grealish. We're going to bring on McAtee as a sub. I just really feel like there could have been more done to get McAtee minutes, and no, it's looking like he's probably going to leave in January, to be honest. He seems very unhappy with the current state of affairs, and you can't really blame him. Now, he might decide that he still wants to stick it through because there will be opportunities, or maybe he's just like, personally, I told myself I'm staying this full season and giving it a proper go to see and assess at the end of the year what I'm going to do going forward at the next season. That could be what he does and decides to stay past January 31st. But to be honest, right now it's not looking good. There's news coming out that West Ham are interested in signing him. I don't know how appealing that's going to be for him, but I'm just very worried that we're going to be looking at another Cole Palmer situation where it's like, player wanted to stay, but based on lack of game time, he's like, I prefer to leave and advance my career than just be sitting on the bench, because he's gonna be regressing. Obviously, he's playing with top players in training and all that, but he's gonna be regressing in terms of development by not playing professional competitive minutes. So he might be looking at the exit door right now, unfortunately. Hopefully there can be a solution there. Hopefully behind the scenes, Pep is talking to him, reassuring him, and somehow convincing him to stay. But I really don't know. But please, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think about my thoughts as well. Drop it all down in the comment section. Like the video as well. I will try to make these more consistent with some topics. Big up.